Welcome back to another breakdown video. This one is for Grind It Till You Find It. New camera, new lighting. Let's jump right into it. I feel like I'm becoming a broken record at this point because I have to say the thing. We start with that's right, a sample from Pretty Boy Ron. I didn't even change the pitch or anything this time. I was very shameless, so thank you, Mr. Ron. From there, I added my own guitar, just a little bit to play on top of some of the things that Ron had already put into the sample. Nothing too crazy, but just enough so that really sticks in your head. From there, we get into the first bass sound, and I really like this bass sound. Adds a lot of the swing. That guitar comes back there. So one thing about the bass that I really like, I chose both the bass and the 808 really clean sounds that were very bass heavy. They were very like clean sine wave type of sounds. And then I had heard somewhere that Kanye, Yadoff, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I heard somewhere that Kanye used to put the 610B on his kicks and on his bass and just crank the shit out of it to get the distortion. So I wanted to try it, and you know what? It sounds incredible. So let's sort of A-B it here and see what it sounds like. So this is off and then on. Just adds so much harmonic saturation. It's incredible. We got a low lifter here. Shout out to FL and ImageLine for always adding really cool plugins, and this is one of them. It just adds more harmonic saturation, so you can really hear it in laptop speakers, iPhone speakers. All that stuff is really important because, you know, a lot of people, their first interaction with your song is going to be sort of on the phone, which sucks as a musician, but ultimately you got to think about those things, right? The drums are an integral part of this song, and I just want to open this plugin because it kind of gave me all the drums. It's called XLN. The cool thing about XLN realistically is that it sorts all the drums that you have in your library with AI so that it kind of creates this matrix here, groups sounds by what they sound like. So it's just really cool because I took one of the presets that it gave me called Runaway and just kept cycling through my own sounds from my library until I came up with this. The only weird thing is that I had to create all these volume automations every time that I wanted to turn them on and off. Yes, I should have bounced them, but for some reason it didn't sound as good. Those two chords build up so much tension, and I didn't want the kick coming because I wanted that kick, that first that hits you in the face, to really make a statement, if that makes any sense. So there is no kick in this first half. It's just the bass, it's just the pattern with the snares and the sample. Other than that, there's a couple of sound effects that I think really bring it together. Let's take a listen. That sound right there is just a supercar with a delay on it. There's also a couple of other instances where I use that in order to sort of make a point. I think there's a scream here that I got from one of Illmind's old kits. Has a little bit of a room reverb on it just to fit it in the mix a little bit. Goes left, right, this one too. Really cool jarring sound that comes in the mix. From there we move on to this sound as well, which quite literally shifts us into the next section of the song, which is the hook, and that's where that gigantic kick comes in and absolutely decimates the mix in the best way possible. That U8 610 is going to work on that kick right here. Whoo! Huge. On this drum box we have a knock. I love knock, not a surprise. Little saturation, some punch, a bunch of air, and a little bit of clipping. there's two notes here. The other really cool part, sort of the hook is the guitars that I played. I have sort of hard left, hard right, 68% here left, and I'm guessing like 70% right. Yeah. And you can see, like, I copied this over. I didn't do this the right way at all, but like, it doesn't really fucking matter because it all sounds great ultimately. There isn't much to the production. Occasionally I have a guitar coming in just to accent whatever's going on. Here's another one. Not a very technical guitar player, but I get the job done, you know? I wanted a little solo. The first thing you notice is not just the fucking gigantic boomer bend, but the insane amount of reverb that I have on this. It just felt right. Maybe I was hiding the like lack of technicality as well a little bit. For the most part, I think it just sounds cool. Other than that, there's a closing guitar. Obviously, all the other guitar layers are also here, and the sample drops out. I felt like we needed some mid-range information here, just to carry the track, make it sound not too empty, you know? Let's get right into these vocals. They were a little different for me, speed-wise. I wanted to be very sharp and rhythmic while also playing that like laid-back sort of energy. The first verse that you hear is written almost identically to the reference vocal. Like, I didn't really change much. I re-recorded it because, over the couple of years that was between the reference and the final version, I became a better vocalist, like, truth be told. So I just re-recorded it. The vocals, I think, came out incredibly.
She makes caramel cream, sitting pretty in the front seat. I would do a murder for you, mommy. I could be the Clyde to your Bonnie.
The main vocal is carrying so much of the spectral information here. Like, so much of the mids is just the vocal that a lot of the magic comes from, a good delay, a good reverb. All those kinds of decisions really help in terms of crafting the song. So here you can see the vocal chain that I used in this song. We have an auto-tune that is set pretty quick. Usually I don't set it this quick, but this song, it felt like it needed that snappiness to it. Next, we got a Pro Q. We're getting rid of quite a bit of this low-end information here, while maintaining most of the highs. That's how you get such a good high-end response. So a lot of the times it's not about adding high end, but just getting rid of a lot of the low end. Again, I've said this in the past videos, but the U87 is not very flattering in terms of its like low mid end here. It's very like muddy, not necessarily in a bad way depending on the vocal, but not for my voice specifically. I love using this pull tech here to get some of the harshness out of the mids, usually at that 1.5 kilohertz range gently, and sometimes at that 3K I'll attenuate a little bit too. An RVox to really bring that vocal right up to your face, followed by a distressor that's set pretty quickly, but again I'm just tickling these.
She makes caramel cream, sitting pretty in the...
You can really see with the RVox that like I'm actually just tickling it. A de-esser, classic. A little fresh air for that top end. I really wanted the vocal to sit flat and on top, so I'm using an Oxford inflator as well to just add even more saturative tone. And then Valhalla to give it that room effect, to really sit the vocal not too far in front of your face while still being incredibly loud. That's being sent to reverb, a much bigger reverb. I mean, not gigantic, 1.8 seconds is not huge. I'm emptying out the middle using a track spacer. A parallel, distortion with the distressor set to nuke. A little delay, Fruity Delay 3, again, shout out to ImageLine, one of my favorite delays, always works, always does the thing. We have an H delay. I think these are for the delay throws mostly, that happen somewhere in the song. And then a slight, I think, chorus for just the hook. I'm not even sure if I used it, but just a little bit. So let's kind of take a listen to the hook as well.
Grind it till you find it. Drop it down and hit till you turn, baby. Grind it till you find it. Slow down like it's a red light, baby. Grind it till you find it. Drop it down and hit till you turn, baby.
Simplicity was the name of the game. I think the beat and the rhythmic section was so fire, and I just didn't want to get in the way mostly. I was inspired a lot by like driving my old Alfa Romeo, which was where I learned how to drive manual. Rest in peace to my dad. Actually, yesterday was Father's Day, so had a lot of time to sit and reflect. But you know, he taught me how to drive manual, and one of my favorite terms was just like grind it till you find it. Obviously, you shouldn't do that because it's not good for your gearbox. But for those who don't know, when you're grinding into gear, you got to push the clutch down with your foot and then kind of shift the shifter into the right position. If you don't kind of hit, especially with old cars, if you don't hit that gear at the right angle or push the clutch down far enough, your car is not going to make a very pleasant sound. It's like a grinding sound. You can literally hear your gearbox just doing this. And the classic thing is you just grind it until you find the gear, until it gets there. And I really like that term. There's a lot of little car phrases used with, you know, poetic devices in order to write the song and put it together. Major shout out to Harley for helping me write that hook and, you know, put together some of the little pieces. Shout out to Quiet, that's my boy, who helped me put the second verse together. I think collaboration is a beautiful thing. I think writing with other people makes you a better writer often. It makes you have more brain power to just put towards solving the task. Because writing a song is often like solving a puzzle, you know? That concludes Grind It Till You Find It. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown with this new lighting setup and the new camera setup. If you actually watch these videos, drop something somewhere to me so that I can see it. Have a peaceful day, and peace upon all of the beautiful folks in the Middle East who are going through it right now. I love my Iranian people. Thank you for all the support.